It's a quiet, peaceful night. In most households, the only sound is the soft hum of the world outside. But in the Thompson household, the night was anything but calm. Every night, their beloved dog, Max, began to growl softly at the foot of young Tommy's bed. At first, it seemed like a typical dog behavior. Maybe Max was just protecting Tommy from imagined dangers. But things quickly escalated. Night after night, Max's growls became more intense, almost as if he was trying to warn Tommy of something. Tommy, just 7 years old, was frightened, but didn't fully understand why Max was acting this way. Little did he know the dog wasn't just growling for no reason. Something far more sinister was lurking in their home. As Max's behavior grew stranger, Tommy's father, Mr. Thompson, began to notice. He couldn't ignore the mounting unease that spread through the house every night when Max's growls would pierce the silence. What was really happening to cause Max, the family dog, to act so strangely? Max had always been a calm, loving dog. He was loyal, gentle, and had been with the family for years. From the time Tommy was a toddler, Max had been by his side, watching over him as a protector would. Max was more than just a dog. He was family. In the early days, the bond between Tommy and Max was unbreakable. Tommy would play fetch with Max in the backyard, and the dog would always happily follow him around the house. Their friendship was undeniable, and the Thompson family thought of Max as the heart of their home. But now, things were different. For the past several nights, Max had started acting out of character. The change was sudden and noticeable. The gentle dog was growling at Tommy, refusing to allow him to approach the bed at night. Even when Tommy would reach out his hand to pet him, Max would snap his teeth, showing clear signs of distress. Mr. Thompson, a man who had always trusted Max, was now faced with a troubling dilemma. He couldn't understand why Max, who had been such a loyal and affectionate dog, was now growling at his son. He tried to brush it off at first, thinking it might just be a phase. But as the nights passed, Max's behavior grew more intense. The growls turned to barks, sharp and high-pitched, echoing through the house. Tommy, already frightened, would hide under his blanket, too scared to speak. Mr. Thompson tried to comfort his son, telling him that Max was probably just reacting to something outside the house. But deep down, he felt uneasy. One evening, after a particularly terrifying growl from Max, Mr. Thompson decided it was time to act. He couldn't ignore the strange behavior any longer. Something wasn't right. As the light filled the room, the shadow vanished. But Max was still growling, his eyes locked on the corner where the shadow had been. Mr. Thompson felt his chest tighten. He walked cautiously toward the spot where Max was staring, but there was nothing there. He turned to Max, speaking in a soothing voice. "What is it, boy? What are you seeing?" Max stopped growling but remained tense, still staring at the corner of the room. Mr. Thompson reached out to touch Max, but before he could, the dog suddenly snapped his head toward him, growling louder than ever. Mr. Thompson froze. The room was eerily silent, except for Max's deep growls. Mr. Thompson could feel the weight of the moment. Something was happening, something he couldn't yet explain, but he was determined to get to the bottom of it. In the days that followed, Mr. Thompson researched possible reasons for Max's unusual behavior. He considered everything, from illness to stress, but nothing seemed to fit. That's when he decided to consult an animal behaviorist, Dr. Larson, who had experience with strange animal behaviors. Dr. Larson arrived at the Thompson house and immediately noticed Max's anxious behavior. She observed the dog carefully, and after a thorough examination, she ruled out medical causes. There was no sign of illness, and Max wasn't acting out of character during the day. But at night, it was a different story. Dr. Larson suggested that Max might be sensing something beyond the normal realm, perhaps even something supernatural. She spoke of animals' heightened senses, especially dogs, and how they often pick up on things that humans cannot. She advised Mr. Thompson to keep a close watch and try to document any further incidents. One night, after another growling session, Mr. Thompson decided to stay close to Tommy's room. He wasn't sure what he was expecting, but he needed to understand what was happening to his dog. As he quietly observed, the same shadow appeared again. This time, Mr. Thompson didn't hesitate. He grabbed his phone and quickly recorded a video. The shadow seemed to linger in the corner, almost taking form. As Max's growls reached a crescendo, Mr. Thompson felt his blood run cold. The shadow moved toward Tommy's bed, and the room temperature seemed to drop. Mr. Thompson's hands shook as he recorded, unsure of what he was witnessing. The moment the shadow reached the bed, Max lunged, barking wildly, and the shadow vanished. The next day, Mr. Thompson shared the video with Dr. Larson. She examined it carefully and came to a chilling conclusion. "This isn't just a random occurrence," she said. "This could be a manifestation of a negative presence, something or someone that's trying to harm Tommy." She explained that children, with their innocent and pure energy, were often more susceptible to such things. The presence was likely drawn to Tommy's room, and Max's growls were an instinctual defense mechanism. Mr. Thompson was horrified. He hadn't believed in such things before, but the evidence was clear. Max had been trying to protect Tommy from whatever was in that room. With Dr. Larson's guidance, Mr. Thompson decided to take action. They hired a spiritual healer, Mrs. Evelyn, who specialized in removing negative energies from homes. Mrs. Evelyn came to their house and immediately felt the disturbance in Tommy's room. She performed a cleansing ritual using sage and other protective symbols. She reassured the family that the negative presence could be banished, but it would take time and careful attention. During the ritual, Max stayed close to Tommy, his growls softening, as if he understood what was happening. After several days of cleansing rituals and protection, Max's behavior began to change. The growls stopped, and the tense atmosphere in the house lifted. The shadow never appeared again, and Tommy finally felt safe in his room. Max, once again, became the gentle and protective dog he had always been. Tommy could play with him freely, without fear. The bond between the two grew even stronger, a reminder of the love and protection that animals offer, often in ways we cannot understand. This experience taught Mr. Thompson a valuable lesson about the power of animals and their protective instincts. Sometimes they see things we cannot, and their actions may be trying to communicate something important. Max, the family dog, had sensed something dangerous and had been fighting to protect Tommy. In the end, the family learned to never take their dog's behavior lightly. Max wasn't just a pet, he was a guardian, and his love for Tommy was stronger than they could have ever imagined. And from that day forward, Mr. Thompson never underestimated the silent yet powerful connection between a dog and his child.